Morning everybody, hope you're all well. I am here today going to make you some more coffee, talk some more nonsense and generally catch up with people, and I hope everybody's feeling positive and well. Let's see who is up and about and wants to join in. Just gonna add a few random people to see who wants to come and play. Cool. Right. Good morning. Good morning. Hi, everybody. Right. This morning, I am going to be brewing a V60 again because I haven't done a V60 for a few days and it is my favourite method of brewing coffee. And today, I'm going to do some Kenya. Yes, delicious, beautiful, fruity, juicy Kenya. So let me show you what I've got. I've got my V60 ready to go. Paper is pre-wet. I've drained the rinse water out the bottom. I have got beans in my grinder. I've got 30.7 grams of Kenya Gatumbi AA in there. Now, I should know more about this coffee than I do, but I don't know a lot about this coffee. What I know about it is it's delicious, it's bright, it's fruity, it tastes like blackberries, and it's lovely. So I'm looking forward to brewing it for you. But I can't tell you much about the producer group, can't tell you much about where it's from, what it does. What I can tell you is it's yummy. Ooh, that's the wrong way around. Don't want to do that. Right, so let me go and I'll start my coffee grinding. I'll get myself some hot water. So I'll let you listen to some loud noises and a blank screen for a moment, and then I'll come back. Captivating video, I know. Right, so I'm just going to share with you my technique for brewing a V60. This is not necessarily the best technique, it's just how I do it. Most of what I do, I stole from James Hoffman on his YouTube video a few weeks ago. So let me turn you around again. So coffee is now ground. I grind it reasonably coarse on a V60 because I like it to pass through quite quickly. You get a bit of chaff left from a Kenya, so don't worry about that too much, just knock it out. And then you want to give that a proper clean later so it doesn't go rancid. In your cone, little shimmy just to get it nice and flat. And I do like a little well in the bottom of my V60, so I've got a little patch to work from. So here we go, a little bit of a well. Right, tear that off. Now, my kettle. I prefer a Kalita pouring kettle to a Hario. I know this is controversial. There's a shorter distance between the handle and the spout, which means that you've got more control over exactly where you're pouring. So, apologies to anyone who's feeling seasick watching this. Right, here we go. So I'm just going to start my clock. So what I'm doing first, we're going to pour in about 90 grams of water. I've got 30 grams of coffee, so I'm going to put about 90 grams of water across that. And that's just going to make sure that all of my coffee grinds are nice and wet. There we go. Now we're going to give it a quick shimmy, just to try and get everything nicely equally soaked. And then trusty bamboo paddle, just north, south, east and west, and the kind of diagonal points if you really want to. And again, that's to ensure everything is properly wetted. Cool. So now, I like a nice long bloom, at least 45 seconds, that's where I've got to now. And now I'm going to top up. So my first pour, I want to top up to sort of 3/4-ish of the total weight. I'm going to use 500 grams in total for this brew. And what I want to do is I want to pour to the point where I get to maybe 375, and then I'm going to leave it. Now, in my perfect world, I'll be using the hottest water I possibly could do. I'd have my temperature control kettle, and I would be keeping the temperature at about 96 degrees. As it happens, I haven't got that with me today, so I'm using my Kalita kettle, and in between pours, I am putting it on my Aga to stay warm. There we go. So what's going to happen here, over the next 20 seconds or so, that's going to drop through a little bit, and I am going to wait until it gets almost to the bottom, and then I'm going to keep pouring and top up right to the top. You could go finer than this for a V60 at the moment, I think. It's dropping through relatively quickly, so you might do slightly better if you go slightly finer on this. So we're up to about 2 minutes. Now the second part of my pour I'm going to do much slower, and I'm going to rinse down all the high and dries. I'm not afraid of running down the side of the paper here. And then I'm going to target the bits that look foamier or a funny colour in particular. And I'm going to pour nice and slowly until I get to about 500. There we go, 500. Just under 2.5 minutes, so that should now drop through into about 3. Morning, Ivy.
Mummy.
Hello, how are you?
Mummy.
I don't know where Mummy is. That was Ivy joining us for the brewing this morning. Right, just gonna wait for this to drip through. Kenyan coffees are often described as fully washed, and the way they process this, they'll pick the cherry off the tree, go through a bit of a pulper to get rid of the skin, into a tank where it will ferment. They'll run it around a little bit so that the final bits of fruit come off the bean. If you think about that kind of nectarine with the stringy pulp on the top, and then that kind of ferments off to get rid of it. And then once they've done that, they'll stick it back in a tank, give it another rinse, and make sure it's nice and clean. What you get from this is generally quite light, refreshing, sometimes a little bit tea-like coffees, but they're very bright, very fruity. They often have a prominent citrus flavour. Blackberry is the classic characteristic flavour note, and there is some debate about whether it's blackberry or blackcurrant, depending on what nation you're from and where it comes. But it's that kind of thing. You kind of ribenery, apple and blackberry crumble type flavour. That's what you're looking for, really. I love Kenyas. You can get Kenyas that veer towards tomato soup, and some people find that really good. I think that's a bit weird and disconcerting. I don't really want my morning coffee to taste like tomato soup. That's not what I'm here for. But sure, why not? And I have seen Coffee and Good Spirits competitors take that kind of tomato soup concept to the extreme and do a kind of a Bloody Mary with Kenyan coffee, which is kind of cool. I think that's quite a nice concept. Not always what the judges are looking for, but I like concepts where you challenge judges. I think it's a good idea. Right, let's have a quick look at this coffee. So what I want to do first, I want to show you the coffee because, as you can see the bottom of that? It is quite light. That's quite kind of ruby red, tea coloured, rather than your black coffee coloured. Let's have a taste. Nice. So you got the sweetness, you got that nice kind of tart, lemony, citrus punch, really mouth-watering. The blackberry will develop as this cools down slightly because I haven't quite got that yet. But it's definitely in there. You can taste that kind of summer fruit, end of summer fruit kind of characteristic that's going on. Anyway, that was my V60 of Kenya for this morning. I hope everybody's having lots of fun. I hope everybody's happy, healthy, well, enjoying looking at the sunshine from outside and getting their state-mandated hour of exercise every day to enjoy the best of this weather. Anyway, stay 2 meters apart, take care, wash your hands, and don't forget, everything is awesome!